This video was recorded on the 28th of May, 2022. This was my 5th inspection of these two hives. I spent a little bit more time actually looking at the medium frames in the honey supers this week. The bees have made some progress drawing out some comb, although they had not at this time made very much progress in this hive. So I go ahead and get that out of the way and start working on the second deep. The top deep. So one thing you'll see a lot of this week is quite a bit of honey. So that first frame, there was a fair amount of drawn comb, given that it was the frame on the edge of the second deep, so that's good to see. This frame, there is almost entirely honey. On that first side, you could see that it was all capped honey. On the second side, I think it was mostly nectar that was working towards becoming honey. So this is very normal, that the bees will store a lot of honey against the edges of the second brood box or the second deep. So here again, lots and lots of honey, but in this case there is some brood in that sort of semicircle underneath. And here I'm just scraping off some comb that was stuck to the bottom, that they had built on the bottom of that frame. Pulling out another frame now. I'm not sure if I show this one. Yeah, but it was more of the same. More honey along the top and brood underneath. There is some nice brood, you can kind of see there. And then pulling away some more wax from the bottom of that, and then moving along. I don't believe I have any queens to show off this week, or if I do, I didn't point them out. Oh no, yes, there is a queen to see here. I'll let you go back and take another look if you would like. I'm not going to point her out, but rest assured she was there. And remember, she does have a yellow dot on her back that was put there by the breeder. I don't know if I've made that clear before, but the queens do not naturally have yellow dots on their back. There are paint dots put on the backs of queens by breeders for the purpose of making them easier to see, and also making it easier to tell how old they are. So in this case, these queens were raised this year, 2022, and I may have explained this already, but there is a color scheme that corresponds to the year, so that you can tell what year the queen was born. So this one, both of these having yellow dots, that corresponds to 2022. The colors are white, sometimes gray instead of white, yellow, red, green, and blue. And they run in that order, years 1 through 5, and then they repeat 6 through 0. So because this is a year ending in 2, it's a yellow dot this year. So if I were to see if I were to open up, if someone else, some other beekeeper were to find my hives and open them up, say next year or the year after, they would know that my queens were 1 or 2 years old. So I've seen what I want to see in the top brood box, and I think I was just curious to see. I've seen the queen, so there's no need to keep looking deeper. But I wanted to take a look at the first brood box, and it's gotten quite difficult to get the deep bodies apart. They've gotten quite heavy, particularly the second deep, by nature of having quite a bit of honey. And they do seal the boxes together with propolis as well, so it can be a little challenging to pry them apart and then to lift them away. Here I'm scraping away some more burr comb. And continuing to have trouble with my camera. It looks like I was able to get quite a bit of this inspection in one go. This was using some tin foil, or aluminum foil rather, to reflect some heat off of the camera, and it seems to have made some difference. But still I do lose the camera eventually here. So there, I think I was trying to pry some wax off of the shoulders of the frames. The frames are held apart by little shims that kind of run down between them to provide adequate space for the bees to work the frames, to draw out comb, so that they'll still have room to crawl around after they've drawn comb. And that's called bee space, the space between the frames. And I wish I could tell you off the top of my head what measurement is appropriate for bee space. I can't recall off the top of my head, but there is a number, and it's heavily involved in the proper design of beehives. So here we are. We've lost the camera on the first inspection, or on the inspection of the first hive there, and now we're moving on to the second one. So this is by far the stronger of the two hives, in my estimation. And you'll see why shortly. There, so we've got the inner cover off. Now we're going to start checking out these medium frames in the super. So not much to see there in the first frame. Not much to see in the second frame. But the third, it appears they've started to draw some comb up near the top center of the frame, right where we would expect to see some comb getting drawn. So this is very good news. And here again, drawing out some comb in the center, near the top. Basically where the bees are clustered is where they're working hardest to build comb. And this does take a lot of effort for them. They have to consume quite a bit of nectar to produce comb. So this is great news. This hive is progressing a bit more quickly than its neighbor. And here I think they may even have some nectar in some of those cells on that first side. Not certain exactly what the holdup was there. But now getting the super taken off and starting on the top brood box. I don't recall if there was too terribly much interesting to see in this deep. Maybe this, oh, I know what this was. I think this is just a yeah, I've got the I've got the frame grabber out. This is a full frame of honey. So with maybe a little bit of brood there at the bottom, but this is just beautiful. Like, not all of it is capped on the outside face of the frame, but you'll see in a moment here. This was quite heavy. I was rather surprised. Look at that. That is beautiful. That's a couple bottles of honey right there. Of course, all of this I'm going to leave to them, as much as it pains me. This is anything that's in the brood boxes is theirs to keep. So looks like that's about it for this week's video. I'm running short here. The camera gave out again. Next week there will be some more camera issues, but we're hopefully coming to the end of that. I'll see you next time.